Hi, I'm Shirley, and I want to talk with you about the difficult decision we'll all face from time to time about whether or not to open the jar to solve a problem. And the answer to that is, with the exception of the first couple of hours, you do not want to open the jar for the first 72 hours, period. Just don't do it. Ideally, you've put everything in your ferment from the start, but it's bound to happen. You're going to leave something out. As long as you have salt, water, and vegetables in the jar, just leave it alone, leave it closed. If you forgot your salt, your ferment's probably doomed anyway, so you might as well take the vegetables out, rinse them, make a proper brine, and try again. You might get something good out of it. If you have vegetables poking up above the brine, you can just leave the jar closed. That's going to be fine. You might have a situation like this where the brine level has dropped on your sauerkraut. You're thinking, should I add more brine or not? Just leave it alone. Leave it closed for 72 hours. Okay. Why the 72 hours? Why is that so important? Well, stage 1 fermenting is going on in your probiotic jar. And that just means that the molds and yeast are suffocating and being killed off. And that's what you want to have happen so that your lactic acid bacteria can reproduce in there without any competition or any hindrance. That's what's going to create your truly healthy probiotic food. If you open the jar, you're really just giving a breath of fresh air to those dying microbes, and you don't want to do that. So if you leave it shut for that time period, you'll end up with healthy lactic acid bacteria that are doubling in numbers every 20 to 30 minutes. Now you might run into a situation where you have brine coming up in your airlock. And you need to take care of that. It doesn't mean you need to open the lid. We have a video called the overflowing airlock that will help with that situation. And when you're trying to decide whether or not to add brine to the sauerkraut, well, we have a video that covers that, whether or not to add brine. So I think that'll help you out. After 72 hours, it's okay if you need to add leaves to your pickles or add some fresh herbs. You can do that. If you're adding whole spices, you want to wait until the countertop phase is over. So when you do that, you're going to need to do it quickly, and everything needs to be super clean. Okay, you want to be prepared so that you can leave your jar open as little as possible. You don't want that ferment exposed to the air any longer than you need to. It would even be a good idea to have an extra lid prepared with a filled airlock, so that if you have something, maybe your brine has collected on part of the lid, you just switch it out and you don't have to waste time cleaning it. Don't open your jars to look or smell or taste. That just creates a spoilage opportunity. So as we said, ideally you've had everything in there from the start, and you're going to end up with a wonderful, healthy probiotic food. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that's answered some of your questions.